Artist First isn't just a slogan for us. It's why the bands go hard, and it's why you get a show that's worth showing up for. I'm John.
And I'm Karleigh, and we're building Karleigh Fest, an artist-first Christian heavy metal music festival. Even though it's not heavy metal, there's all these special subgenres, so correct me, what are we doing?
A heavy music festival that combines metal, metalcore, hardcore, deathcore, and all the cores.
That's a lot of cores. Oh, we have crabcore. We got a crabcore.
Oh yeah, we have a crabcore band.
My favorite band. John, who are you, and what do you bring to Karleigh Fest?
So I've been in the music industry for around 23 years. Started in college when we were asked to design a poster of our choosing, and we were going to screen print these posters. And I decided to turn it into a live project and actually asked the band if they would come and play. And the band did, and I had 400 people show up my first show. And I was like, oh, this is easy, and carried on doing it. And then I realized it actually isn't easy, and I just did it very well because I had the opportunity to print like 1,000 posters in college.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, so I've played in bands, I've promoted shows, I've tour managed, I've stagehand, done it all basically.
So you come with a lot of experience.
Yes.
All the music side of things.
All the music.
I come with, I guess, 20 years of online content experience. I started when I was like 12, so that's the only reason I can say that. But yeah, I've been a social media manager. I've done a lot of content marketing, and so I know a lot about marketing. I know a lot about social media. I know a lot about building a business. It's like my hyperfixation doing this music festival with my husband, which I don't even think we acknowledge that we're married for anyone who is new.
We're married.
But hi. We're married. We just had our 1-year wedding anniversary. So I come with the content side of things, the influencer marketing side of things. Us together, we bring a really unique mix, but I think we bring something really cool that when put together, it's coming out to be pretty dang awesome.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I think it's really cool what we've been able to do, and we haven't even had the festival yet. We've already had so many incredible opportunities of connecting with artists and with potential people that are going to come and be in the audience and stuff, and with vendors, and it's been really, really cool to see what God's doing in it all. With everybody that we've been talking to, there is unfortunately a gap that we've both seen from different angles that we're able to address in this festival when it comes to the Christian. We specifically are speaking to the heavy music space, but I think it's a gap across Christian music altogether.
Well, it starts with things I've experienced as well from touring in bands and working out that Christians are so poorly treated in the scene. I think artists in general are poorly treated, but because Christians are so poorly treated, they just assume that things are the way they are. My band travelled like 900 miles to play a show where we were not paid in gas or money, but we were paid in like grilled cheese sandwiches and floor space and cans of Monster, which is absolutely ridiculous. Thankfully, when we did that, we were doing a part of a UK tour. Like, we lost out quite a bit of money on some shows, but we made quite a lot of money on other shows. I self-promoted the final date, and we sold that show out. And so the last day of the tour, we managed to like break even. But you shouldn't be worrying about breaking even while you're trying to do what God's called you to do. And I think as a result, what we've seen with a lot of bands is we've had expectations on a price when we've reached out to them and said, hey, what do you charge? And we've been shocked at the amount that has come back so undercharging that we've had to turn around and say, look, we're paying you this because it doesn't, like what you've told us, doesn't even cover like gas in most cases.
Mm-hmm. There is an expectation that if someone is doing what God's called them to do, that means they basically have to, live in poverty. And yes, there is a sacrifice element, and yes, everybody's got to like earn their spot, and I'm not going to doubt that. But the fact that the Christian music space does a worse job than the world does at compensating artists, I am just disgusted by. I think we all should be. We all should want better for those who are going after what God's called them to do, because so many of us have been impacted by these bands, and yet they are not able to do what God's called them to do because they don't have the financial means of doing so. And so we want to be a part of that. And not only are we wanting to fix the financial side, we are very much a Jesus first space. And so not only are we getting artists that have such incredible talent, but we have artists that have such good hearts. They have a heart for Jesus, and they have a heart for the people that are coming. And so we are really wanting to go above and beyond for the artists, of course, for our vendors, and also for just everyone coming. And we want everyone to feel and recognize that difference.
I think it also goes beyond music as well. Like when I worked for a Christian screen printing company, people would expect a discount because they were a church or they were a ministry. And it's just like, I feel like people should be paying, like going above and beyond because it is ministry.
Yeah, a lot of people like to talk about how Jesus sent the disciples out with nothing. They sent them out not even with enough food to survive. But what happened is those disciples ended up in the homes of people who took care of them. We're supposed to be taking care of those people that God has sent out to go and do that thing. And so many people are like, well, God's going to provide for them. Yeah. And what if God gave us the resources to provide for them? What if God is providing for them through what we are doing? We are wanting to just really change this from the inside out. This has been really cool because we're able to partner with a shirt company whose values align, and we're able to employ companies to come out and do production, and we're able to partner with like a venue that aligns with our values, and like we're able to go and support all of these other, not even just the bands, but like the vendors and everything. We're able to go and support them because of what we're doing with Christ Core. And I just think that's really cool. And really that comes down to really one of our core values. We've already talked about it being artist first. Well, really it's Jesus first. But when we say artist first, that means we will sacrifice everything before we minimize what we're paying the artists. We are going above and beyond for artists because we feel like that's the bare minimum of what we should be doing. We feel like above and beyond is just what everybody should be doing, because at a festival, we wouldn't have a festival if it wasn't for the artists.
Yeah.
And so if we're not taking care of the artists, we don't deserve to have a festival. So taking care of those artists and really doing more than just saying, oh, come here and come, play with us. It's like saying thank you for taking your time, for, taking time off of work. Because a lot of these bands that we would love to see more full-time, they can't because they're not making money full-time in music yet, and they have to take time off of work and things. And so really showing up for them and giving them everything that we can is really what Artists First means. And, in creating an atmosphere where everybody's going to love it. Like, after we take care of our artists, we're going to be taking care of our vendors, our volunteers, any staff. Like, we want to be the hands and feet of Jesus and to every single person that walks through that door. And for anybody who's dedicating their time and their energy towards making this incredible for everybody, deserves that.
And I would even add on that, we want them to have this experience. Like, it's the one weekend in months that they get an opportunity to play. We want them to be like, okay, this has been such a fantastic weekend. Like, yes, I've missed my family, but I've enjoyed this time and not been stressed about, like, hey, can we afford the gas to get back? Or where are we going to stay? And
or if they want to bring their families, they can, and we will, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I think another thing, to be over-prepared with stuff, what's called a day sheet, where you know exactly where you're going to be, exactly what time you've got to be there, exactly who you're liaising with, like even details like the Wi-Fi password already ahead of time, so that when you arrive, everything is there for you and you don't need to stress about anything. And so one of our values is having everything prepared and in writing, so everyone knows exactly where they're supposed to be at what time, and have contact with the people that are looking after them for their duration of the stay.
And I think the thing that the artists have been most surprised about is that we are so focused on that and making sure that we have all of these details down. It's pretty cool that we get to do this. Let's talk about the actual event itself, babe. How many people are we planning on having?
Well, we have our numbers between 2,500 and 4,000 people, which
that's a lot of
people have been shocked about.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that really has been part of our journey is when we first started, we started with the bands. We started getting the bands locked in, and I think we surprised ourselves with the amount of bands that were like, straight away, we're in.
We went about it backwards.
Yeah.
very, very backwards.
So we got the bands locked in, and then we're like, oh, okay, now we need a venue. We had an idea of a scale, but I think every step of the way, God was like, your vision's too small for what?
Over and over and over.
Over and over, yeah. And I remember just arriving at that venue and being like, okay, this is it. When we finally locked that venue in, that was... Yeah.
One of the things we've been saying from the beginning is that if we ever make this about us, or it turns into something that God does not want, to just take it away from us. Like, just rip it away. Like, don't even give us the opportunity to make it about us. Yeah. And really, that's been reflected because every time we've been freaked out, every time we've been, like, on the brink of just saying, you know what, whatever, I quit, it's been, we put trust in ourselves, on us. This is mostly me. I own it. I'm still on my learning how to radically trust God journey. He trusts God a lot more than I do, praise God. When we finally got to the venue, we're gonna have a whole video dedicated to our venue journey. But yeah, no, God opened the door at this place, at the Wilson Logistics Arena in Springfield, Missouri. Yeah, it immediately just felt like home, for lack of a better word. It was like, oh, this is awesome. They're going to work with us. Like, anything that we needed, they were really, like, accommodating. They answered all of our questions and, you know, were really, really helpful. And that was like, okay, like, all right, God opened this door in a place that didn't make any sense. I don't know, maybe you did. I didn't realize how big of a deal it was that we got this arena up until a couple weeks ago. But it's going to be awesome. And so one of the things that we're really, really passionate about, and that we have been praying about, wanting to make sure that it is what God wants, is documenting this whole thing. Selfishly for us, because we want to be able to look back on this, you know, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, and go, man, can you believe it? Like, we thought we were thinking so big, but we were thinking so small. Like, that's really where we want to be. Yeah. And have the documentation for ourselves to look back on and watch our growth. And then secondly, just to share with you guys by showing the behind the scenes. We're hoping that you guys can just join us on the journey and really see what goes into it and have more appreciation, not just for us, but for the artists and what they do, and other festivals that you go to, for what they're doing behind the scenes in order to just give you guys a really great show.
I think for me as well, it's like, well, I think for both of us, I'm always constantly reminded of like the story of Gideon, where he had so many men to go in to battle with, like 10,000 men. God was like, no, I need you to lose that. And like God whittled it down to 300 men, and they went into this battle without swords. They literally had like pitchers and
jars
and torches and stuff, and like it was basically to show that like God did it, and it was nothing to do with Gideon.
There was no room for them to take credit at all.
And I think that's one of the things that we want to document, that is like, this is, we're just being obedient to what God's called us to do. Mm-hmm. It's not anything, we're putting in the work, but it's like God is producing the fruit that comes out of it.
If at any point it becomes about us, we don't want it.
I think despite all of our experience and despite trusting God, I think there's still things that we're kind of working out as we're going.
Mm-hmm. We have so much to learn.
Yeah.
I say all the time that I don't know what I don't know. Like, we don't know what we don't know. We know a lot between the two of us, but like I said, we haven't put on the festival yet, and we are still figuring this out, and we're probably going to get a lot wrong. I think being willing to acknowledge that openly is just going to give us the opportunity to, one, the data nerd in me, I'm like, oh, now we have documentation and we know what we need to change.
Right.
And also being like, okay, that sucked and we didn't die.
Right.
Like, we should have done this differently, we should have done that differently, and we're not quitting. So if you are interested in watching us build a Christ Core Fest, hit subscribe. We've got a lot coming up on this channel. We're going to be documenting the build. We're hoping to get some interviews with bands on here soon. So there's a lot of really, really good things coming. And down in the description, get on the email list, because we're going to let you guys know when these videos come out, and you'll get all of the updates on bands, on hotels to stay at, on fun behind the scenes stuff that doesn't go out on social, all the things. So get on the email list and hit subscribe, and the notification bell thing, all the YouTuber
Give it
stuff.
a ding ding.
Ding ding?
I don't know.
You're a ding ding.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys.